So developing our rhythm, and what that means basically is having your own rhythm for your social media. So I'm gonna just refer to Facebook because that's the one that I do most of my business on. I do use I do use Instagram as well, but I don't find that I get as much business even close to it. So with like 12,000 followers, I've only gotten 2 loyal customers so far from it. But I still use it. It's easy, right? It's an easy one to use because it is just pictures with a little caption. I don't so much have to catch people's attention and keep myself in the feed. So we're going to just be kind of referring to Facebook. So this is one of the biggest things that in the course I was taking the other night that he said, we always give others so much grace. So we always are making, if we were to read something and somebody had a spelling mistake, we'd be like, oh, well, you know what, they have a spelling mistake. Like, I'm not the spelling Nazis. I'm not going to go and give them trouble. You're just going to read it and be like, okay, well, that's a pretty decent post. Now, if we were to make that post and have the spelling mistakes, we would probably beat ourselves up and think, okay, so everybody saw that. Now how embarrassing. I need to go in and edit it and stuff. Or we copy and paste other people's posts because we don't feel confident in our ability or that we have anything interesting to say. And so I just think that everybody needs to give themselves a little more grace and a little bit more leniency, and don't beat yourself up, because it's going to be a learning process, right? We're going to start, and maybe at the beginning, we're going to, like, in a year, we might look back on our posts and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I wrote that. Like, that was me. Because as you go, you're going to get better and better and better at it, right? So social media, it's just an extension of relationships. And so we have been teaching people to add and grow your market. So there's many, many things. I'm going to start at the beginning a little bit here because we have some people on here that haven't been on our Zooms and haven't learned a lot of our Facebook stuff that we've gone through. So you're going to be adding people to your Facebook. I mean, you pick the number, whatever you want to do. I mean, if you want to go far in this business, you want to make a living, you want this to be your job. So that number might be a little bit bigger than somebody that maybe only wants to make $200-300 a month. Okay. So let's just say I want to go diamond. I want to grow my team, and I want to get those 20 people under me. I'm going to need to add maybe 20 new people per day, or 15, or whatever your number is. And so give yourself a set schedule. So I'm going to add 15 people per day. Do not go to bed until you've added those 15 people. If you had a crazy, crazy busy day and you didn't get it done yet when you climb into bed, turn your phone on, turn on your Facebook, add your 15 people, go to sleep. Job done, right? Make sure you're doing that, because you need to add these new people to start building relationships, because as you start going, and you've been doing it for a while, you're going to use up your original market. So now you need to grow that cold market and make that cold market become a warm market where now they're friends. So you're never going to truly win at social media if you're not consistent. And this, anybody that's been doing the business for a while can absolutely attest to. People are watching you. They want to see what you're doing. If you're posting, and like an example, Danny joined Erica because she's been watching her for a couple of years, right? And we have a lot of that going on. So what happens is, if Danny had seen Erica posting for like 3 months, and then you didn't see a thing about it for a year, or even 3 more months, you didn't see her do anything, and then she did it again. My first thought is going to be, okay, she's seriously, obviously not making any money at this, because you don't just randomly go to work, you don't just, oh, I'm going to open my store for 3 months, then I'm just going to shut it for 3 months, then I'm just going to open it again. We don't join people that do that. We just don't. We need to see consistency. I need to see that you're going to be a leader, that you're going to be somebody I want to.
Can you go on your card, Mom?
Am I breaking up? Erica, you say lots that I'm breaking up, and other people say I'm not, though. Am I breaking up for everybody? No, not for...
Maybe it's just because I'm in my basement. Maybe it's me.
It is, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So we want to make sure consistency, right? Like, consistency is what's going to make people want to join you. They're going to see, they expect to see it. I had made this, here, I'm going to share a screen with you quickly. I made this post here. And this was something that John Eric had said to us, and I was like, oh, very interesting. Okay. I'm just going to go into my Facebook. I just want to read this to you guys quickly. So you guys that haven't been in a social media group yet that I'm running, you won't have read this, but the other people will have. And it's just really interesting to, and I mean, it's not a science, these numbers that he's done, but it makes sense. Like being in multi-level marketing for this long, the breakdown really does just make sense. Okay. There we are. So it's called Social Media Builders. So that's what you'll look for, Danny. That's the social media page that we're running. Okay, bear with me, guys. Here it goes. And Danny's in. Bear with me. So this is it. This is going to be the post here anyway. So just when you think people are getting sick of your posts, they probably are just starting to pay attention. So you can't just post one time and assume that everyone saw your post or has even read it. On average, there are 16% of your friends will see your post at all. Your average engagement. So, okay, this isn't working. So I'm just going to stop this. I'm going to read it to you from my phone. Stop share. Harriga, how did I stop sharing again? Oh, there it is. Never mind, I found it. Okay. Engagement, which we've talked about, right? So when you make a post, when we're new, we think that we're really annoying everybody, right? Oh, well, I posted like that I started, and then twice yesterday I made a post, and then like once today I made a post, and we think that's a lot, and it's really, really nothing. Because I mean, you can do a test on your page and just, you know, even just say, can all my friends that see this please comment below so I can see what number is actually seeing my post. And in reality, it's like less than 0.5% of the people see what you're posting, and that's a norm. So I'll just read that. So you can't just post one time and assume that everyone saw your post or even read it. On average, less than 16% of your friends will see your post at all, and an average Facebook engagement on a post is now under 0.5%. It's actually 0.0048% of the people. So less than 0.5% of people are engaging in your posts. So just to be clear, this is what is considered engagement, guys. If I'm scrolling and I stop to read it, engagement. Just, I don't have to comment, I don't have to like. If my post looks interesting and eye-catching, and it started with something, that's why I tell you to use your emojis, right? Like make it look fun. Do I'm feeling excited, use your feelings. You can tag people, things like that. That's what maybe will catch somebody's eye more than just hey, before and after picture, check this out. So that is engagement. A like is an engagement, a comment is engagement, and a share is engagement. Those are all engagements. So remember that, even stopping. So gigantic nerds have even studied how many times it takes for someone to respond to your post. This is called effective frequency. Here's a fascinating view. Okay, so the first time people look at any given ad, they don't even see it, which I can attest to because I probably look at 1 million a day and don't actually see them. Let's be real. Like we look at it and that's it. It didn't go in, nothing happened. Third time, they're aware it was there. Fourth time, they have a fleeting sense that they've seen that somewhere before. So here's an example. I had made a post before, and I had just made it, I had done it from my phone. And Ava, so I had done it from my phone, and when I do stuff in social media, group from my phone. I can't actually create a file, so I can only put it in our regular feed. So I had put this post in our feed when I was away camping because I was on my phone. And then last week, on my computer, I took that same post and I put it into the file because it's easier for people to bring up a file. And Ava had actually noticed, and she said, "I think I've already read this before." So that's just to show that, you know what, she did read it before. But she said, like, I think I've read it, but she wasn't like, I definitely read this. I think I've read this before though. So that kind of showed me that, hey, people are paying attention. She is the only person that did notice out of 30 some odd people in that group though, that same post had already been made before. She's the only one who said anything. So now the 5th time they actually read it, 6th time they thumb their nose at it, the 7th time they start to get a little irritated with it, the 8th time they start to think, here's that confounded ad again, the 9th time they start to wonder if they're missing out on something, the 10th time they ask their friends and neighbors if they've tried it, the 11th time they wonder how the company is paying for all these ads. So like in an example, I'm just going to use like Erica for an example. You know, so maybe people are looking at her thinking, geez, she's a single mom with 2 kids. How is she taking all these holidays? How is she always at the river? Like, how is she getting her nails done? What is she doing, right? So now maybe I've seen it over and over and over. It takes me a while to trust it. And so that's where we're getting into this rhythm. 15th time they start to want it because they can't afford to buy it. The 16th time they accept the fact that they will buy it sometime in the future. The 17th time, they make a note to buy the product. The 18th time, they curse their poverty for not allowing them to buy this terrific product. The 19th time, they count their money very carefully. The 20th time, prospects see the ad, they buy what you're selling. This should encourage you to stay consistent and to never give up. So does that make sense to you guys? Because when I read it, being in this business as long as I have, I see that as like completely accurate. Like I have people that have been saying, I've been watching it since the beginning, but they didn't jump in. They needed to see that I was still doing it and still doing it and still doing it and still doing it, right? And so I think that the whole thing about creating our rhythm, that's what it needs to be. So the consistency will be your rhythm, okay? So business versus personal. This is one thing I want you guys to be working on too. So if you're not posting several times a day, you're admitting your business is closed, right? Does everybody agree with that? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's how we see it, and I think that's how your market out there would see it. Because if I didn't hear from you today and I didn't see maybe an annoying post in my feed from you, you're out of my mind now. You're gone, right? Until the next time. And that's kind of sad, and that's your downfall, is because so I don't make a post today, and so now I didn't get into anybody's head today. So now tomorrow, maybe I'm gonna have to really up my game and smarten up, because that one day that I closed my store, that maybe that person was thinking they wanted to come shopping, but guess what? I wasn't open. I wasn't available. So now, if each of your posts doesn't mean something to you, then you can't win. So if you're just taking a copy and paste over and over, you're not excited or passionate about it. And here's something that you guys need to know. I want you all to do this on your Facebook. Try to go in and make a post that says "You and me against the world." Everybody can do that. If you're even if you're on your phone right now, try to do that, and tell me what happens when you guys do that. I want to see the first person unmute yourself and tell me what happened when you tried to do it. Anybody?
Anybody?
I'm waiting. Somebody's going to say something. Is somebody trying it?
We couldn't post this. Tap for more info.
Thank you.
Who
Anybody
said that?
else? Anna.
Which one's Anna? Show
Where
me.
is she? She's bubbles up here. You can't see her. She's blacked out.
Oh, I can't see you.
Hi.
Bubbles,
That was
Ava, did you just try?
Yeah.
Bubbles, where do you live?
Calgary.
We got 2 people.
Okay, what you need to do is send Cindy your address. You just won a Fat Fighters.
What?
Yeah,
How'd I do that?
because you were the first one to reply.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, who was it? Ava?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She lives in Newfoundland. You know how much that's going to cost me to mail her? You.
Okay, we'll do that. You just won a Fat Fighters.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Barry, are you driving in your truck?
Yeah.
Am I the answer?
Cherry, are you driving in your truck?
I'm driving in my car.
Oh, your car. Are you paying attention to the road, though?
I am.
That a girl.
Did you not notice that the phone was staring at the roof for a while?
Well, yeah, kind of. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. It's all good.
Okay, keep your eyes on the road, girl. We need
I
you to
am.
get home. We need you to get home safely.
Where I'm home just about like 1 minute.
Well, we need you to be home safely.
Thank you.
You want a Fat Fighter?
Yeah, I know. She did. I'll get it to her. I'll ship it there. All right. So back to where we're going. So did everybody hear what Ava said about that?
Everybody knows when I come on, there's prizes, right? I don't see too many smiles on anybody. The only person I see a smile on is Sherry. Everybody else is just, oh.
Linda raised her hand.
Linda, how come I don't see a picture of you?
Where is Linda?
Right there.
Oh, there she is. Don't you like it? I'm a diamond in the making.
Nope. I just about spilled Cindy's wine.
Okay. Hey, let's get back to our
Okay.
meeting, Dad. Get out. Okay. So did everybody hear what Ava said that was? Did anybody else try it and see what I was talking about? Yes. Erica, did you try it?
Yeah, I did the other day when we were talking about it.
Okay. So now I'm just doing it right now.
That's why I didn't answer. I didn't know I could win a prize. Frick.
Well, you never know when you can win a prize. You don't know.
I didn't know either, Erica.
Now I'm going to have to go mail it.
This is what it says. If you guys can read this, hold on here. There. Can you guys read that?
Our security systems have detected that a lot of people are posting the same content, which could mean that it's spam. Please try a different post.
So what's going to happen, and this is why I've been trying to teach everybody to become your own author, right? And so we're going to stop copying and pasting other people's. I'm not saying that you can't take some of the content from theirs, but you need to change it up and make it yours. So when I see, and it's kind of bad because I still see it a ton, and you're never going to get better until you start trying. You know, and what's going to happen is, so if I copy the same post that Shaylin does, and then Ava copies it from me, and then Jessie copies it from Ava, and then Shelby copies it from Jessie, and then Jessica copies it from Shelby, and so on. Now that post, guess what happens? Every time that's happened, so we're saying that 17% of the people on your Facebook see that post. So now Danny made the post, and it was a great post. But now, so she had 17% of her people saw it, and maybe 4 interacted with it. But now Shaylin copied Danny's post and she used it. She will be lucky if 5% of the people on her friends list will see that, because with the algorithms now, Facebook knows that that post has already been made, and that's why they're starting to block them. So here's a really good example. When head office did the conference post, remember that they made the picture, they posted it out when conference was going to be held, and how long did that last, guys? Maybe 3 hours, and it was gone. That's exactly why, because everybody shared it. Gone. So now you can't make that post anymore. So you want to be really, really careful. And this is what I'm trying to get you guys to start doing, is becoming our own authors. Let's start writing our own. So if you're just taking a copy and paste, that's what happens. And when you're copying and pasting anyway, tell me, where does the passion come from? you know, if Jessica's made a great post about greens and I copy and paste it, that's no passion from me. I didn't even write this post, you know? So the passion needs to start being there. So we're going to slowly start working on becoming great authors of our own story. Stop using other people's. It's not fun. So when you're posting out about your business, make sure it's something that you're passionate about. If you're not actively working on your posting, it will slow right down. Like your business is going to slow right down and you're going to see it. So your half-life is 50% of your post, right? That's half-life. So when somebody says, well, what's the half-life on that? It means how long can something be good for before it's at 50% quality. So the half-life on your post is 90 minutes. So you should be definitely trying to make a new post. You want to make a new post at least every 2 hours, right? Because the chance of it showing up in somebody, let's just say originally 16 people see that post. Let's just say 16. So in 90 minutes, you're lucky if it's going to show up in now 8 people's feeds. So you want to make sure that you've got a new post taking over before that post hits half-life. Does that make sense to everybody? Does anybody have any questions on that one? Okay, cool. No. Okay, good. So make your posts and edit them. So this is a really cool idea because we're all going to start being authors of our own lives and our own business, right? Sherry, you're really, really good at that. Erica, you're really good at it. Linda, you're working on it. I see that. So these guys are really good at creating their own little posts. So start doing it ourselves. And here's this I thought was a fantastic idea. You know how with Instagram you can put your phone on airplane mode and then you could go and you can make like 20 posts and it'll all sit there, and then when you take your phone off of airplane mode you can push your posts go up one at a time. So like at nighttime or in the morning I usually make 20 or 30 posts with airplane mode, and then throughout the day I never actually sit down and make a post on my Instagram. I just go and push the button because they're already pre-made. So this is a fantastic idea that I never thought about this before. You could do that every morning on your Facebook too. Just make, you know how we've created lists? You can choose that only you can see your post. So make a whole bunch of posts and put their audience as only me. Then when I read that post again, yeah, actually I really like this one. This is a good one. Now I'm going to make it public or to my potentials or whatever. Hey, I thought that was a fantastic idea. So even if you sit down and like they're just works of art and you're just starting and you can go back and go and add to it or whatever, but so you could do that. Just make them so, and only me is an option in your drop down already there. This is another thing we talked about too, which I really like this. So why do comedians travel 2 hours to do a stand-up comedy at a college and then get heckled for no pay? And truthfully, the answer is because they know they need to get up there 1,000 times to get good at it. So don't think that you're going to get up there and you're going to make a post on Facebook and all of a sudden you're going to have 100 likes and 37 comments and 15 shares, because it's just not going to happen. But eventually you're going to get really good at it and people are going to look forward to say, hey, what does Danny have to say today? What does Sherry have to say today? You know, what does Shelby have to say today? I'm really curious because they write kick-ass posts. So that's something we're going to work on. So if you don't go in and start posting, you won't, or you can't find your voice. So you guys need to find your voice, you know, and I think that like, I know each of you and everybody has a different voice. So when Shelby makes the same post that Erica would make, I know that that wouldn't be Shelby's voice, right? Because we know Shelby. Shelby's not Erica. Erica's a divalicious. Shelby's more like quiet, reserved. So they're not going to be the same, but we're sharing those people's posts. And so don't think that the people that know you on your Facebook don't know that those aren't your words. They know. They know that you wouldn't say that. So that's really important too, to start trying to do your own. So now, diarrhea and constipation. That was something else. Diarrhea. Yeah. So diarrhea would be like, okay, so we don't want you posting every 30 minutes, right? We just don't want that, because all you're doing is you're really wasting your time. And so you're like, if you make a good post and then I post another one in 30 minutes, I've pretty much knocked this one out of the way because you didn't even wait for half-life to happen. So we don't want constipation either. We don't want you posting every 3 days. So you're going to find your happy medium. So try to do, I honestly think that you should do about every hour to every 2 hours. and figure out where your market is. So, I mean, if you're trying to grow a team in Australia, you want to know their time zone as opposed to yours, because maybe you're going to want to make sure you have posts done up until 6 at night, because after that they're already sleeping. You know what I mean? So that stuff you got to be thoughtful and think of ahead of time. So less than 0.5% of your friends are going to engage on your posts. We know that, right? So reusing your posts, I think this is a great idea. So if you've made a post that was really fantastic before, and you had a lot of engagement on it, or a lot of comments or anything, go in and use that post again. Pull it up, change it a little bit, redo it. Make sure it doesn't stay the same, because again, we know that if we've already used it, that the algorithm's already hit it. So we want to change it up a bit, but reuse it again. It worked once, why wouldn't it work twice, right? Maybe just post it at a different time. So it's hard to start out as comedians, obviously, right? It takes them like 2 to 5 years to get known. It's going to take you 2 to 5 years to get known. Let's be real. To really get known, for people to be like, hey, Danny, she's your It Works girl, go to her. Or, you know, oh, sorry, Jess, I don't know why. Jess keeps getting kicked out. Where was I going with this? So why keep at it? Because originally it was a dream, and keep it a dream, guys. Like, have your dream board, do it in front of you, keep at it, and it does happen. And so what happens though is you could be posting and posting, and you're being really consistent, and you got a good rhythm going, and you're working your buns off, and it seems like, you know, for a month nothing's happened, but then trust me, all of a sudden you got 6 people calling you and like, I want to be a distributor. That is really how it happens, and it happens for all of us that way. So when you have that dry spell, but you know that you're still working, don't feel bad about it. It just happens, okay? Every day that you don't post, like I was saying, you're putting your masterpiece, your business, whatever you want to call it, off basically another year. Don't waste your time. If you want to win, keep at it. Do it every day. Do it consistently. If you are shy or you're an introvert, this is something that you need to be more careful of as well. Because how many people, okay, Shelby, can you unmute yourself? Shelby's very, very shy. Shelby, there's just, hey Shelby, how many times have people told you that have you heard that people maybe think you're a snob because you're shy?
Not very often.
No. Okay, so I've heard that about me. Like when we were playing ball, I remember years ago, shy people, usually people think they're snobby, like that they think they're better than them. So that's really careful too with your posting, is to just to find that inner whoever, if you are more of a shy, quiet person, and be somebody a little bit more outgoing, a little bit different, because that's something we want to be really careful of, is that people don't just automatically assume, oh, she's just a snob, when really you're shy. Like you're shy, you're more quiet and reserved. So is Jessica. My Jessica's like that too. I think that's about it on here. Everybody else is pretty outgoing. Jessie, I don't know you very well yet. But for sure, Shelby and Jessica, you guys are really quite similar in your personalities. So I don't know if people, like they would have to get to know you, right? To know that, oh, she's super outgoing and she's fine, but at first you would be more reserved. So just think of Facebook land like it's not really you. It's like, you know, an inner child that can come out, and you can just be more outgoing on it, less introverted. Because that's definitely for marketing and your post sales and talking. Because remember that, right? What we were saying is when you're making posts, you're marketing your business. When you're talking to people, you are making sales. So
You think people can tell that by your posts?
Pardon?
You think people can tell that by your posts? Is that like what you're saying?
Well,
like you think people can tell I'm social by my posts?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. Does everybody not think that Erica comes across extremely social on her posts? Absolutely. Now, when you look at my post or Jessica's post, do we come across very social, or do we come across more like not social?
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that. It's an awesome point.
Yes, right?
More conserved. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't post, like I'll post health stuff, medical stuff, business stuff. you know, a little bit of like the grandkids, things like that. But you can tell, right? You can really tell the difference between a really social, outgoing person or a more reserved person by their posts. So what they're kind of telling us, though, is if that is our personality type, try to jump and become the opposite. Like, take that step and do it and keep working towards that a little bit. And eventually it becomes really easy. And that's why they were using the comedian thing was, yeah, they do. They go, they drive, they stand up, they get heckled, they don't get paid. And they keep doing this over and over and over until they become really good. So that's kind of just where I'm going with that, if that makes sense to everybody. So remember that. So with your goal for your business, you'll probably grow about 80% of your business using your phone, okay, guys, and your Facebook. Seriously, 80% of your business will be done through social media. So be okay with that. When we sign up and we're talking to our family members in our warm market, most of your warm market is not going to be supportive. They're going to be like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Because they don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand the passion. They don't understand somebody that has a vision of not working 9 to 5, that doesn't want to do 40 hours a week, that, you know, that want, it's not the norm. So to them, they think they're like trying to help you and save your life because, you know, it's going to be destroyed now. But you just stick to your ground, do what you want to do, and let your haters be your motivators. Like, seriously, do that. Do not take other people's criticisms or negativity about what you're doing and let it interfere with what you're doing at all. We've all had it. And truthfully, like for me, if you don't like what I'm doing and you're not supporting me, you're gone. But, you know, and that's easier maybe as we get older to be like, forget it, you're out. Don't even want to talk to you anymore. If you can't support me and be behind me, you know, whether it's this person being your customer or not. Like, so let's just say, you know, you got your friend who's junk food Jenny, and she's like totally anti anything health. Maybe she doesn't want to try your products, but if she was your good friend, she'd say, hey, you know what, Jesse, I'm not really interested in anything, but if I can help you out in any way. And then truthfully though, the normal people when we first sign up are the opposite, right? They're like, oh my God, don't get into that. That's one of those pyramid schemes. You definitely don't want to do that because you're just going to throw away all your money and you're not going to make any. And, you know, I mean, lots of us can tell you, you can make a lot of money. That's just the way it is. And it just depends on what you're going to do with the business and what you want to do with the business as to how well you'll go. What did you say? Over there. Oh, okay. So just want you guys to feel confident in that not everybody's going to be supportive, and that's okay because it's your journey, not theirs, right? And so you could just be like, thanks for your opinion. I'll take that into consideration, and then don't really. They don't know. So take where here. Oh, this was a great idea. Take 1 inch of paper by 1 inch of paper. Put everyone's name on it that matters to you, okay? That what their opinion matters to you. Then, if somebody says something, maybe you're making a Facebook post or they say it to you in person, and it hurts you, it's rude, it's offensive, or anything, look at that little 1 inch by 1 inch piece of paper and see if their name's on it, okay? If their name isn't on it, who cares? Who cares what they had to say? And I think that's really, really good advice because chances are you can count the people that really, really, really matter to you at one hand. Like what their opinion would be enough for you to be like, okay, I'm out. So unless they're on that 1 inch by 1 inch piece of paper, we don't acknowledge what they say if it's negative or hurtful or offensive or anything like that. I love that too, Eric. I thought that was a great idea. And just cut that little piece of paper out and you write those people's names down that matter and you put that right on your laptop or wherever, on your computer where you see it. So maybe you made a Facebook post and somebody was just a jerk on the message thread, and you can just look at their name and you can look at that piece of paper and you can be like, whatever, moving on. And don't let that bother you. It's the guy who asked, oh, this is true too. The guy who asked you, you can ask somebody 10 times, like that's what they were saying. So the more you're asking somebody about joining the business, lots of times, or the product, lots of times you can ask somebody 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And how I was saying that earlier too, right? Like that they'll see that first post and, oh, you're annoying. Second post, oh, I'm kind of interested. Maybe that works. Third post, oh, I should write down that when I have money, I want to get that. So, you just be your own hero. When you've talked to somebody 5 times and then finally they join you, whether it be a customer as a distributor, be your own hero. That is good. And everybody's going to have their journey and it's going to be at different times. And so maybe Carol is going to be a diamond in 4 months, and maybe Erica will be a diamond in a year, but that's okay because it was their journey. And I made that post tonight on the team page from Pam Souter that had said about, people that maybe are going through depression or whatever funk it is and stuff. It's your journey. You do what is good for you and be okay with that. So when someone says no, that's about them, not you. Okay, get that through your head, guys. When somebody says no, let's be real. Here's an example. So I come to the door. I come knock on your door, and I'm selling you. Like how we have the electric people, and they come and they try to sell it to us at our door, and we say, I'm not interested because I'm not interested in that plan. I'm happy with the people who I get my electricity from right now. Are you saying no to that girl who knocked on your door? Are you telling her to F off? Are you saying you're not interested in her product?
Yep.
Right? You're not telling her. You don't even know her. You're not telling her, get lost. You're a piece. I don't want you on my property. You're saying, no, I'm not interested in your plan. So when somebody says to you, no, you say, hey, I have this great product or I have this great business opportunity, and they say, no, sorry, I'm not interested. It's not to you. It's not personal. So don't take it personal. It's business. They're not interested in what you have right now. That's okay. It's the same as blitzing, right? We get terrified. We're going to hand this thing. What if they say no? They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to your coupon. They don't want your card. That's it. So
you want to know what's so funny about that? Can I add into that, Mom?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure, since Danny is on, I'm going to just bug you. But I think that I've talked to you about joining my team for probably 2-3 years now, hey? I know you're muted, but if you unmute, I'm pretty sure last year we talked for about 2 months about you joining.
Oh, yeah.
So I've talked to you for probably 3 years about joining my business, and just yesterday she came to me on her own terms and said, you want to know what, Erica? I've been watching, I'm ready to join your team. And I hadn't talked to you about the business in probably 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah, a while.
Right? That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And I never was like, hey, join my team just to market you, or to target you. We just always chatted about it. And that's exactly what Cindy's saying. Make sure you're talking to everyone about it, because whenever they're ready, they're going to join you.
That's right. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So just like the yes, yeah, it isn't for you. The no isn't either. So just remember that. Get over yourself, because when we feel that, that's ego. We're allowing that to play. It's our ego. It really is. That's all it is. And it's not about you. So as soon as you can get past that, you'll do a lot better. You'll feel more confident in your posts and stuff. I know that a lot of people, when they're younger too, they have a thing where they're like, they're a little bit more worried about posting that, it might annoy people or whatever. And like Jessica, honestly, she was having that. She's like, well, I don't want people to think I'm posting too much. I'm like, well, do those people pay your bills? Did we miss something? And she's like, no, actually, you're right. So don't let people make a decision for you. You do what you're comfortable with. And don't let your pride or your ego get in the way of your business. Just remember, it's always business. It's going to be no different. If you owned a clothing store and a customer came in and they were unhappy with their purchase, you're going to deal with that. But and it's going to be the purchase, it's going to be the clothes, it's going to be the pair of jeans, right? So when they are saying to you, something on Facebook, just remember, it's not about you. It's about that product. It's about the company. It's something else, but it's not you. That's right, Erica. They don't pay your bills. So just remember that. Get over your ego. So did you get 1 likes or comments on your post? Who cares? Remember, right now we're doing our posts because we're learning. We're trying to become storytellers, learning our own posts. You know what? Maybe nobody commented. I get that. Honestly, if I make 10 posts a day, I can have 6 of them where there was nothing. Doesn't mean people didn't see it. Don't think that either, because a lot of times I'll get messages from somebody about a post I made, but they won't even like or comment on that post. So that's something to really know too. So just get better, more comfortable with your posting. You're the CEO of your business. Your job is to get your employees off their butts and working. You're the employee. You are the employee of your business. So that's your biggest thing. What seems to happen as we grow a team, we think, okay, well, I'm going to sit back and be a boss and I'm going to tell my employees to get to work. No, you're still an employee of your business. You get to work. They'll follow because they'll see that's what you're doing. They'll see that's what our team's doing, right? We know this, guys. The people that are on here tonight that show up, we know that we go up. We get off these Zooms and we're like pumped, ready to go. And so we know that taking that hour of our time and jumping on these is going to make us feel good. We're going to be amped up and we're ready to go. And we usually, for me, when I watch our E-Suite after a Zoom, we usually will have anywhere from 3 to 5 new customers and a couple new distributors within 48 hours of our Zoom. Every week. It always happens. It's like all of our new people come on like Wednesday, right after our Zoom. So I know that it pumps us up and it gets us going. And that's why we keep doing them. So if you don't need to slow down, you just need to speed up. Start keeping a log of everything you do. And this is something that we've already talked about, and I have a feeling that everybody's been really like slack and not done it, and I really think it's important. So the course I'm taking, we have to do this right now because we're trying to figure out our rhythms completely, like how many little actions we actually do a day, whether it be accepting this friend, moving them to this list, checking my email, adding a friend, making a post, like all these different things. So keep a list and see everything you do on social media, checking your messages, adding friends, accepting friends, how many posts you're making, and start seeing and find your rhythm. So find what really happens. So maybe take this next from tomorrow till Friday, and every time you do something on Facebook, just write it down, and then go back and check it out. And then you know what you might see? You might see that, you know what? I added 20 people from a mom's group. 15 accepted my friend request. I added 20 people from my town Facebook page, and only 2 people accepted. Okay, so I have a really good chance of getting friends from my mom's group, you know, so you can start gauging what you're doing and what's going to work the best for you. I think that's really a good tip. So that's going to be our like number one. We're going to have another night of this, but I don't want to go too long for you guys. So that's creating our rhythm. So I'm going to stop this now.